Good evening. Wow. It has been a long time, but good evening. So good to see each and every one of you. So good to see each and every one of you again. It is Friday night. Hopefully all is well with you, your family, your friends, your loved ones, your co-workers, all of that. So I'm so excited to bring you a little bit of what I've been doing this summer. I've actually had the pleasure of working with my wonderful church, First Missionary Baptist Church in Concord, North Carolina, with our young adults at their summer camp the last 4 to 5 weeks. And we've been doing this little series on movies. Yeah, so we broke out in groups, and I got them at like 8:30 in the morning, 8:45 in the morning, so it was real early. So most of them really wasn't awake, which I understand, because I wouldn't have been awake at 8:30 in the morning at a camp when a teacher trying to come teach me either. But the idea that I had with them was doing a movie series. And throughout that movie series, I really picked 3 movies that I really wanted to dive into that I thought was important for the fellas that I had in the room at that particular point in time. So what I decided to do to come back to y'all, to bring you back to my live stream. Welcome back. It's been a long time. I haven't seen y'all. So if I seem a little shaky and nervous, it's because I missed y'all. I did miss y'all, but I just first want to say thank you to Edge 2022, a couple people there, Chris Wilson. He was the director over the camp, one of the youth directors there, and I want to thank him for giving me the invitation. Thank you to Jessica Steepleton for giving me the PowerPoints on the soundboard and the microphones. Thank you to Savion, and thank you to the children. Thank you to all of them. Thank you to everybody that played a big role at that at First Missionary Baptist Church. I really appreciate y'all, and I do thank y'all for giving me the invitation. Now it's time for the adult version of this. I done did the kids version. Now it's time for the adult version of this. So the first movie we're going to look at, I'm just going to give you the word, and then you can go and follow along with me. So the definition that I was looking at when the first movie I was thinking about is king. When I started thinking about king or queen, male or female, because this movie is both for male and female here, when we start thinking about this definition of king, and we define king, is somebody that is royal, somebody that sits in a high place, somebody that a lot of people look up to. So when we look at king, it's somebody that sits high. And then I started thinking about, the hood definition of king. This mine, I run this. This mine right here, me, myself, and mine. That's my definition of king. This is me, myself, and mine. But when we start thinking about it, this particular movie, Lion King, the movie is Lion King. When we start thinking about this movie, Lion King, even though it's a Disney movie, and even though it has a wonderful scenery and a wonderful story outline and, wonderful songs, and if they play the song, we sing along because you know it, and you probably done went and watched the play and done probably seen the real life version movie and the fake vision and all 3 movies you probably done seen. But The Lion King is a really significant, important movie when we really watch it with a deeper eye than just the 2 eyes that we're watching with. And just the 2 eyes that we're watching with. So I want you to think about some questions as we go throughout this movie. See, the first one was, what was the names of the father and mother in Lion King? What was their names? What was their names? The father and mother in Lion King. Who was the son? Who ended up becoming king? This is significant. Just follow me. Who was the crazy uncle? All of us got that one crazy uncle. And then the last question I want you to think about is, what were some of the major points in the movie of Lion King? What were some of the major points that we know, that we feel like was significant to us as adults, as college students, as young adults in Lion King? Well, it's three kingdom points. Three kingdom points I want to give you throughout this movie that I found as I watched it. As I watched this movie, there was three kingdom points that I found that was so important, that was so significant, that was needed for us today at this point in time. So the title of this is I Just Can't Wait to Be King. Now, if you think about that particular song, it was in a place of the movie where Simba was at this place where he was just ready to take the place of his father. He was like, hey, look, I'm ready to be king. I'm ready to run this thing. You know how we do. We get to a certain age and we think we can run things. He could not wait to be king. It got so bad that he started singing a song about it in the movie. He said, I just can't wait to be king. But if we think about that, ladies, some of y'all can't wait to be queen, and that's okay. That's okay for you wanting to be a king or a queen. But you got to be a king or a queen in whatever gift it is you have. But we'll go into that. We'll go into that. So as we watch the movie of Lion King, as we watch the movie, there was a relationship between a father and a son that was so significant that I really hope parents watched. This is the relationship you're supposed to have with your children in real life. This was just not a movie. This was us. This was a movie explaining to parents and teachers and educators and mentors how you're supposed to interact with children. So the father here, remember I asked the question, what was the name of the father and the son, father and the mother? The father, who was Mufasa, and the son, who was Simba. They had this relationship and this dynamic here where Mufasa was trying to teach him certain things so that when he became king, he knew what to do. Just like we supposed to teach our kids in school and raise our kids at home and do those things. There are certain things that you're supposed to give them the necessary tools so when they get out on their own, they have the necessary tools to succeed. Now, along the way, in the movie, of course, Simba, being a child, he went astray. Just like all children. All children go left. Let's just be real. We all go left. We all just lean a little bit left and a little bit to the right, a little bit. But Simba here, he goes with his friend. I want y'all to figure out the friend, name the friend, and they're on this chase, and his father told him not to go nowhere, go somewhere, and he did. Just like as we as college students and as adults, there have been places that we've been told not to go, and we end up going anyway. We end up going because we just want to see what's happening. We just want to see what's happening. And Simba, after his father told him, look, don't go there, he went there anyway because he wanted to see what's going on. Now, something ended up popping off. And he ended up having to run for his life. You know, like we do. We get into situations that we have to run for our lives. Let's just be real. We have all been in the situation where we had to run for our life. And so in this scene of the movie here, his father finally saves him, and he sends the young lady home. And so Simba and Mufasa is having a conversation. And Mufasa said something that was so significant and so important in that whole line of the movie. Because Simba thought being King mean you ran over everybody, you did anything you want, anytime you wanted, how you wanted to do it, where you wanted to do it. Simba actually thought in his head, this is how King rose. What his father taught him was so significant though. His father taught him, no, I'm only king, and I only protect when I have to. I can be king and just be chilling at the house. I can be king and still go to work and do my job. I can be king and follow all the rules and regulations that are obtained and given to me. I can still be a king in my own little world and make sure that the other people around me are okay. So you don't rush your kingdom process. That's your first point. You do not rush your kingdom process. Simba wanted to rush it. Simba wanted to rush to be king. But what we have to realize in life, you do not rush your kingdom process. You cannot rush it. You cannot rush your kingdom process. Don't rush your... And ladies, you don't have to rush to be a queen. Yes, it's there for you. Yes, you're born a king and you're born a queen. But you don't have to rush to get to your royal and your crown yet. You don't have to rush to get your crowns yet. You don't have to rush it. And Simba rushed it. And Simba found out, ooh, it don't work like that. What we find out in life, when you try to rush, it don't work like that. Oh yeah, it's great when you live streaming. It's great when you want to do Forex. It's great when you want to start your own business. But what you come to find out is, like Simba, it's not that easy. That's why you don't rush it. You do not rush your kingdom process. There are lessons in the process. There are lessons in the process. That's why your major point in kingdom point number one, trust your kingdom process. I know it may not look easy. I know it may not look fun. I know the road may be a little rocky, but you trust it. You trust it. You trust it. Now, the second point is going to be the important one to this first point. You trust your kingdom process. You trust it. So now, as throughout the movie here, give me some time. It's been a minute that I've been on live, so give me a minute. Throughout the movie, Mufasa ends up in a situation where he has to save Simba. He ends up dying. And some things happen. If you, please, if you go watch Lion King in the next couple of weeks, just go watch it for your adult eye, not with your children. Go watch it by yourself as an adult, as a young adult. Watch it by yourself. Get these points that I got. I promise you, you'll be happy. So your second point is, so as the movie is going along, Simba strays away. This is important because for all my spiritual people, for all my biblical folks, for all my faith folks, in the Bible there was a story where a prodigal son strays away from his father. He wanted his royalties now, and he strayed away. Simba went away because he thought what he did was so wrong. Sometimes when we get into bad situations, we put ourselves in a place where we think we no longer can get out of it. So Simba had to find himself. So Simba meets some people along the way. And as he's meeting these wonderful people that was helping him along the way get back to finding himself, there are people that will come along the way that will help you find your own self. Because sometimes you'll just be so down on your own self that somebody got to come smack you in your face with a spiritual smack, not physically. So Simba here had to find his way. And so he's on this, he's here at the creek. In the movie, he's here at this river, out the rest of the characters as we go. So he's having this conversation, and his father comes up in the creek, and now they're having this dialogue again, and his father says, "Son, wake up." He's basically saying, "Hey, wake up. Hey, wake up, son." I know that there were some situations in your life that has happened. And I know there are people in your life. People. This is important. This is important. Because not all people that's in your kingdom, they're not for you. You can't trust everybody in your kingdom. And how we got to this conversation with his father and him, and his father being dead, was his uncle, his crazy uncle Scar. Let's just talk about Scar for a minute. His crazy uncle Scar led Simba to a place that he could be killed, and Mufasa, being the king that he was, had to protect his kingdom. See, Scar did not like the fact that Simba was going to be king. And here's the reality. There are some people that we just cannot trust in our kingdom process. I don't care if it's family. I know you love your family. You're supposed to care for your family. But that don't mean they all go with you. That do not mean all your family members have to go with you. I love some of my uncles. I'm not taking them all with me. I'm just going to be real. Because not everybody has been for you. The people that you were cool with in high school, they may not be cool with you now. The people that you was cool with in elementary school, they may not be cool with you now. And that's okay. You don't trust everyone in your kingdom process. In your queendom process. I know queendom is not a word, but ladies, I want you to understand, in your process of becoming a queen, you don't have to trust everybody. You don't have to take everybody with you. You don't have to take everybody with you. Bad grammar, good theology. You do not have to take everybody with you. Because not everybody's going to go with you. Everybody's not going to go with you. Scar did not want to see Simba become king. Because Scar knew, if I kill my brother and I kill his son, I am now king. Let me just talk plain for a second. I know you love your family, but there are some family members in your life trying to kill you. And they're trying to take you out so they can step in and take your kingdom. Or they can step in and take what you have to be a queen. This is significant. This is what I found out. This is what's important stuff that I was finding out. Because what people didn't even realize, I can talk about this publicly because I really personally don't care what you think about me. I'm going to talk about me because this is about me. While, yes, I was live streaming and having conferences, I was also having a nervous breakdown at the same time, and nobody knew it. I didn't say a word. I got lost along the way like Simba. But I had to realize this one right here, that on this first one, this is my kingdom process. Hey, I can't rush it. Even though I want to go out and go to middle schools and high schools and do live stream and go out in public, I can't rush it. I tried to rush this thing, and then what I found out is I came around some people that I really couldn't trust. So now I had to go back to the base and start at home plate again. And now I'm hitting again and off and running again. That's why you have to understand point number one. You can't rush it, and you don't trust everyone in it. You don't rush it, and you don't have to take everybody with you. Because not everybody's supposed to be trusted. Everyone can't go. Everyone can't go. You don't have to have everybody in your circle. See, Simba wanted to love his uncle, and that was the crazy thing about it. But Simba had to realize everyone can't be in your circle. Everyone is not going to love you the way you love them. The way you love some people, they're not going to love you the way you love them. So everyone can't go. I'm sorry. I know you love the auntie. I know you love your aunts. I know you love certain people in your high school and in your middle school, in your elementary school and in your college and in your adult life. But there comes a point in life where you have to take a step and say, you just cannot go. Not on this one. I have a kingdom process. I have a process to become a queen. And guess what? I can't trust you. I can't have you go with me. And that's okay. Simba wanted to love his uncle. He wanted Scar to go with him. But what he had to realize was he was more against me than he was with me. And that's okay. So your first point, as y'all join on Instagram, it's good to see you. I ain't been on here in a minute. I haven't done a live stream in a minute, so give me some time. I'm just working my way through. So your first point was this. You do not rush your kingdom process. Ladies, to my ladies, you don't have to rush to be a queen. You do not have to rush to be a queen. I know what society tells us, but we don't have to rush it. I know what society makes it look like, but we don't have to rush it. Then your second point, we just finished it up, was you don't have to trust, nor does everyone have to go with you on your process. I know that's hard because I know we love certain people and we want them to go and we want them to get it together, but sometimes they just can't go. I love you, but I can't do it. You can't go, and that's okay. You can love them. Love them over there, though. Love them over there. It's good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. It's been a minute. So here's your third kingdom point. Kingdom point. Now, remember, I was watching Lion King. And as I was watching Lion King, I found this third kingdom point. And throughout this whole movie, I'm watching it now, and it clicked to me that as much as this is a Disney movie, this is not just for little kids. This is for folks. If you over the age of 12, you need to watch Lion King. Because there's some points for us that we need to understand that will help us on our adult life and our adult walk. And this third point was so important. Simba had to realize this, because what Simba wanted to do, he watched his father be king. Catch this. He watched his father be a king. Some of us watch our parents and watch our mentors and our leaders, and we want to be them. But what he had to find out was he could not be his father. He had to be Simba. This is important. This is important because as much as I love my mama and my daddy, they did wonderful things for me. I love them dearly. I can't be them. My mom was a sergeant in the military. I love her, but I couldn't be her. My dad played college basketball, was a wonderful father, but I didn't want to be that either. I only could be me. So what's your third point? Your third point is your kingdom process is your story. Yes, there are people part of your story, good or bad. There are situations in your story, good or bad. There are places that you have went, good or bad. They're just part of your story. That's okay. It's part of your story. It's your story. You're writing your own book. So while you're writing your own book, understand the people that you have in it, the places that you go, the conversations that you have, that's you. It's all part of your story. That's your that I had to get that as I was going through this nervous breakdown. I'm just going to talk about it. While I was going through this nervous breakdown, what people did not realize is I was helping and giving and doing certain things. I didn't have it, but I was doing it because what I understood, it was all part of my story. And if I want to write my story, my mother taught me to help people. And as you help people, you get help back. And as I started to help people, I started to give help back. Now, what do? I keep giving and giving and giving. I'm giving now. And I hope somebody give back to me. But I'm going to keep giving back to you guys because this is what I love to do. I miss this. I miss this. Give me a minute. I miss doing this. I can't wait to be back in the audience. I've been back in the audience about 3-4 times. I can't wait to get back into it. I miss it. But your kingdom process is your story. Everything that happened to me the last 5 months, from relationships to financial problems, to educational problems with school, to my mental breakdown, to my friendships, all of that is part of my story. Good or bad. So you got to love it. Yeah, I had some bad days. Yeah, I had some issues come up in my life personally. But I love it. I love it. It happened. But you got to get over it. You got to walk through it. You got to have people in your process to help you and pull you forward and pull you up. Because there's going to be times that you got to not only be pulled forward, there's going to be times that you got to be pulled up. So I need to make sure I have people to pull me forward and so people to pull me up. Same thing. You got to pull people forward and pull people up. But I got to love it. Love it. What Simba had to come to realize, even though he lost his father within the process, he had to love it. He had to love it. As much as I miss my mom and my dad, and I miss them, trust me, y'all, I miss them a lot. I have to understand they will always be a part of my story. It's my obligation. It's my obligation to continue my kingdom process. So while you're on your kingdom process, and while another king is on his kingdom process, this is what I can do. Ladies, when you see a queen, and you see her on her queen process, and she see you on her queen process, this is what we can do. This is just something to think about. This is just something to think about. You're a king. You're a queen. You're a king or you're a queen. So you first have to respect yourself. You first have to respect and love yourself. You first have to respect and love yourself. You're a king and you're a queen. So respect and love yourself. But it's important because there's a shift. That means there's a move. But I have to say both of those because I want you to understand there's a shift and you have to respect others, kings and queens around you. You respect other kings and queens around you. So here's just something to think about again. You're a king or a queen, so you respect yourself and you respect the other kings and queens around you. That doesn't mean it's always going to be good. That doesn't mean it's always going to be bad. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, can you respect them? Because as much as we want to be king and queen, sometimes we gotta wait. Even though I just can't wait to be king. Thank you for your hearts. Thank you for your eyes. Thank you.